Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Red Corner with Polo J. And anybody who's been around here for a while knows that I do have a favorite fighter, Ugas. He's one of my favorite fighters because he's the most underrated fighter in the welterweight division. I don't think that the man gets enough credit for the things that he's done and the fights that he's been in. Who is Ugas exactly? He's a Cuban-born fighter fighting out of Miami. He has 30 fights under his belt with 4 losses. And in my opinion, due to boxing politics, which none of us really have any control over, he's going to have his belt taken away from him. But we're going to get into all that, breaking down who exactly Ugas is and how he fights. Until then, Mike, tell him what's going on.
I don't know nothing about numbers. I just know what I can do. How about killing this mother?
Okay.
All right. Here it is. Ugas versus Sean Porter. It's a fight from 2019, which was very controversial in my opinion because I feel as if Ugas won the fight, but the judges felt different.
Didn't look in the direction of Porter. Jack Reese, one of the very fine referees familiar here, saw the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, the heavyweight bout. And he'll be watching these two closely. Porter working some energy here, staying warm. Lennox said fighting outdoors. You said you like fighting outdoors, but it's good to work up a sweat of lathering before you start.
Oh, yeah, I remember fighting. I went out there and it was so cold that the blanket in the water. And it took me a couple minutes to get warmed up first.
Joe Gibson, how about the styles of these two fighters? What are you looking for?
See, the thing that Ugas does very well is he stays behind his jab and he lets you come to him to where he can establish the tone of the fight. That's one thing I can say that he does very, very well. And he has wonderful head movement. If you could see right there, the way that he moves, there's no wasted movement. None at all. I'll replay that. Right about here. You see where he is. He sees what Sean Porter is, and he's already thinking about what he's going to throw. Did you see that? He suckered Sean in to throw that straight left, and he missed, and he followed right back up with his right jab, and he's already back in defensive stance. And that's something else that's something that I have a pet peeve with. He likes to throw the straight and the jab to the body, but he has his head down a lot when he does that. Movement, constant movement. His feet are constantly moving in a direction that benefits him in a fight. That's a wonderful thing. Hey, that's just who he is. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. See, he stays behind his jab so well, but there he goes putting his head down. See, that jab to the body. In this fight, that was his main weapon of choice. and it was working for a while. It was working for a long while before, Sean Porter eventually figured it out and decided to bum rush the man. But he had a great game plan coming into this fight.
Ugas leading in. An extended reach from the left did not connect. Ugas, a record of 8-0, following the 7-1
See that right there. People may say that was just a regular clinch or whatever, but that was very important. Very important. It was establishing, some kind of, test of strength in this fight. And Ugas stood his ground and he pushed Sean off of him. I think that was a beautiful, because you don't want to get into the ring with somebody and them putting you in a clinch and them driving you back. That's not what you want, because at that point they feel like they have the upper edge over you. And the last thing you want is to have somebody thinking that they have the edge or control over you in a fight. See, and that's something else that he does. In boxing, they have this thing about being first. When you're first to strike, first to, engage, that draws the attention of the judges. And when you have the attention of the judges, you have the attention of everybody else in the crowd also. Because, let's be honest, the judges determine who wins a fight, but the crowd of public opinion actually determines who wins that fight actually. See, something else that he did in this fight that I disagree with, he got into a slugging match with Sean Porter, which is what he wants. Sean Porter wants to be in a brawl. He wants to be in a slugfest, because that's where he has his advantage. Any fighter that gets in there with him has to expect that. See, right there, Sean's trying to sucker him in. He's trying to get him to come in with something heavy and hard and fast. That way he can throw a counter punch to try to close this fight out early. That's why Sean's right there like that, and he's not doing the peekaboo stance like he usually does. And he switched, as you can see, because he seen that Jordanis was not going to be suckered into that. So he had to come up with another plan. See, Ugas is one of those very patient fighters to where you can't too much sucker him into something or bait him. And that's not the type of fighter that Sean Porter likes to fight too much. He likes somebody who's going to come in there with him, try to walk him down so he can walk them down to rake it, the head butting and all this different type of jazz. But Ugas was not that guy. Not this fight. If you notice right there, soon as the wood clapped, Sean Porter instantly jumped in. And the reason why he did that is because a lot of fighters like to do this thing called stealing rounds. It's where you try to win the fight, or not the fight, but the round in the last 10 seconds. If you show that you're overly active in the last 10 seconds, you could sway the judge's opinion. And a lot of rounds are actually won off of that. Matter of fact, one fighter that does that very well is Manny Pacquiao. Ads.
With Squarespace, editing and adding pieces on my e-commerce.
It's Porter and Ugas. Wraps it.
Right.
Not a whole lot in round one. Maybe pivot to Porter for big aggressive. He's the center. The taller of the two. Ugas venturing up.
Yeah, I think he probably landed a little solid.
See, Porter's trying his game since he sees that he can't get suckered in. So he's going to try to sucker him in any way that he can, even if it is using a jabbing match. So Porter throws his out there just to see how close he's going to come to try to throw his. It's just a game of range. I'm not going to lie to you. Porter would have landed that, this fight would have been close to over. See, Porter's one of those amped up fighters who is always on 10. Everything he throws has to be hard. Everything has to be willing to put somebody out. And it's driving him crazy that Ugas is not the type of fighter who's willing to sit there and exchange with him. Brilliant strategy. Brilliant. See, he did it again. He pushed him off of him. All these things are purposefully done by a fighter to, establish some kind of dominance in a fight. See, that was a mistake. That was a mistake by Ugas. He should have stuck with the straights and the jab. He could have still, got the, what am I trying to say? He still could have got the punches off, basically, if he would have stuck with that game plan instead of trying to throw to the hook to the body. The hook to the body is something that Sean Porter usually looks for to counter off of. And right there, he got away from the game plan and got suckered in. There he goes. There he goes. See, you're letting Porter dictate the pace of the fight. When you let a fighter who is known to be a brawler, a bruiser, dictate the pace of the fight, everything is coming hard and fast. In this instance, Yordanis Ugas messed up by feeding into Sean Porter's plan. I cannot elaborate enough why that is a bad idea. Watch. The 10-second mark is coming. Watch. Beautiful shot. Two beautiful shots.
He had to be away from his family and be away from his son for 2 months for this camp. But fighting for the title and becoming a champion would make it all worth it. Guys?
Thank you very much, Heidi. So, like many fighters, a lot to fight for, a lot on his mind. But right now, Porter is in the title. Twice this professional career.
I guess they clapped my stream.